So when I was like maybe 11 years old, my uncle Reggie purchased another house in the suburbs a few miles outside of Vallejo, an area called Cordelia. And he was staying out there a lot. He was staying out there more than he was in the house in Vallejo. So I was pretty much there by myself most of the time and shit. And somehow my uncle came across these two other motherfuckers. And it's weird though, I don't know how motherfuckers like this meet. But these two other dudes, they was like career criminals too, these two brothers. And them and my uncle, they got into a bunch of fucking shit. But basically, one of these two brothers, he worked for fucking United Airlines, or he had some kind of jug with him. I don't know all the fucking details, but I know what they was doing. This was a long fucking time ago. This is before 9/11 and shit. And these fools was going out to SFO or Oakland to the airports and shit. And they was dressed up like United fucking baggage handlers. I shouldn't say baggage handlers, like maybe like freight or cargo, whatever the fuck you want to say. But basically, they was getting into the airlines the airplanes, and they was taking whatever they want off them fucking planes. I remember at one point, our entire fucking living room was just full of all these brand new fucking laptops. They was laptops that was headed for the FBI, blood, and they was like $500,000 worth of them too. And that kind of shit was real fucking commonplace. Like, it was incredible the amount of shit they was licking off these fucking planes, blood. And it was sucker free, and they was just dropping off at the house and shit. And I don't know the whole, like I said, I don't know the whole fucking setup, but they didn't exactly operate alone. They was involved with these Russian motherfuckers, and they was like sketchy ass cats. Because I think Uncle Reggie, he didn't want them motherfuckers knowing about his house in the burbs, so he just showed them where we lived, where I was at. And he brought these motherfuckers over to the house one time, and you could tell they was like fishy. These motherfuckers was walking around looking up and down, just checking everything in that fucking house, blood. It's bizarre. It's fucking bizarre. And but at some point, to this day, I still don't know the fucking details, but something went wrong with the operation, and it went real fucking wrong. And I remember this shit real fucking clear, because I remember me and Stannis was just chilling, we smoking some doobies and shit, just watching fucking cartoons, whatever. And Uncle Reggie comes flying through the front fucking door. And this motherfucker, like, immediately starts telling Stench, he said, "You gotta get out of here, get the fuck out of here right now." He being real mean to Stench and shit. Stench bounced out, and he helped me, he got his whole fucking car full of shit. Like, his car is full top to bottom with all kinds of shit, like, fuck, I don't even know where to begin with, like, all kinds of electronic appliances, all kinds of fucking food, like dry goods, blah, 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 you name it. And he kind of like, he in panic mode again and shit. He fucking barking orders at me, telling me to get this and that, bring it inside, blah, blah, blah. And then shit got real fucking weird. Uncle Reggie's calling somebody, I think it's his girl's, like, brother or something like that. He's got something set up where this cat's gonna take his car. And fucking, he gets that worked out, and then he starts doing shit inside the house. He got all this black lining tape and shit. He starts taping up all the windows. He starts covering all the fucking windows in the house and shit. He going around everywhere like in a fucking complete panic stage, just trying to make sure that he can cover up everything. So I'm trying to find out what the fuck is going on. Uncle Reggie, what the fuck's going on? Blood, what the fuck's going on? And he starts off with this complete bullshit story that has nothing to do with what the fuck's really going down. I mean, the truth is, something's gone down with these fucking Russians, and I don't know if them two brothers, like, turned on him or something, but basically, them Russians was after Uncle Reggie. And he didn't want me knowing this shit, so he's trying to make up all this bullshit to fucking tell me. But basically, he lacing me up about how we gonna be staying in this house for a long fucking time together. We ain't leaving. And it was like he had everything out of his fucking house, blood, all packed up into his fucking ride. And he got his firearms out. He got every fucking thing. He got this massive bag of fucking twirl he got. And it kind of didn't make any sense to me, still don't. Why the fuck he want to go there? Because those cats knew that's what the house that he lived at least that's what they thought. So it would have made more sense to go to Cordelia, to the suburbs. But maybe he had other reasons or logic for why he wanted us to be barricaded in that fucking house for a long ass time. I don't know what his logic was, but he already had this set in mind. He was gonna fucking do it, and there wasn't nothing I could do. And for the first couple days of this shit, it wasn't that fucking bad. It was kind of interesting. It was like camping or something, because Uncle Reggie let me watch TV, but I gotta do it inside of a tent in this one room. And it was cool, blood. It was all good. I had all kinds of like top ramen and shit to eat. I couldn't use the bathroom though, blood. He had this fucking rule about using the bathroom, so I had to piss in fucking 2-liter bottles. And if you had to take a shit, you shit in the toilet, but you can't flush it, so it's just gonna stink in there all fucking day. But he didn't want that toilet being flushed till like late at night for some fucking reason. It was fucking bizarre, but I think maybe it was like the twirl was getting to him too, because the whole fucking time this was going on, like I said, Uncle Reggie got himself a big ass bag of twirl blood and he just going at it non-fucking stop. But back then I wasn't into that shit. I was just into the green, so. But I was cool at first, like I said, but I just chill all day watching motherfucker. We had cable TV up in there and shit, so it was all good, blood. I had good food, good bud, but it started running out though. And Uncle Reggie didn't give a fuck about that. Uncle Ray, he smoked too, blood. He just smoked when he coming down though, blood. And he just wasn't worried about that. He had plenty of twirls, so he's good to go. He couldn't give a fuck about my situation. And needless to say, I wasn't allowed to use the phone, nothing like that, blood. And it started kind of getting to me after a while. I started kind of losing my mind a little bit. And I figured some shit out though. Like one time after Uncle Reggie been up for days on end, he passed the fuck out. I was able to hook the phone back up and give Stanch a call and shit, see what was cracking. But like another week went through this shit and Uncle Reggie getting more and more fucking paranoid. And one morning I wake up and he tells me electricity been cut. He telling me the Russians come by, cut the power, blood, that they fucking stalking the house and shit. And I don't know if that's the truth or not. I think maybe he cut it because he's so fucking paranoid, but I don't really know. But at some point I devised a fucking plan, blood. I had to get the fuck out the house. I had to meet up with Stanch and get some more herb and shit like that. And I knew a way to get out the house without getting caught. When it used to be my parents' house, they had like a little secret escape route, like a little drop hatch in their room, and you could sneak through that. You could escape underneath the fucking porch and shit. And it was sucker free. I just had to wait for fucking Uncle Reggie to pass out again, blood, but he was on another bender, blood. He was going nonstop days and days on end. But then I came up with a plan. I put some fucking downers in his drink, blood. And it's kind of a risky fucking thing, because I didn't know what I was doing back then. But that shit fucking worked, blood. He was out after like an hour or two. Man, I remember it was like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, something like that. Sun was just going down. I got outside to taste that fresh air for the first time in so fucking long. It was beautiful, blood. And I didn't want to be gone too fucking long because I knew Uncle Reggie gonna flip the fuck out, beat my ass if he wakes up, finds I'm not there and shit. So I got down to Stench's house right quick and I got something off him and got back as quick as I could. But when I was over there for a minute, he telling me about this van that's parked down like around the corner from my house and shit. You can't see it from my street, but there's some fucking Eastern European guy sitting in a van all day and shit. And this motherfucker don't belong there, blood. He does not belong in that neighborhood. And there's something going on. There's a reason he's there. And after I find this out, it gets me even more fucking tripped out about this shit. But even though my boy Stench plugged me like a true homie, like a true friend and shit, when you in a situation where you ain't even got fucking power anymore in your house, but all the weed in the world ain't gonna make no difference. And Uncle Reggie's just fucking losing his mind. He getting real moody too, blood. He fucking just bickering to me all the fucking time. And it's just me and him there alone, blood, in this dark fucking place. One morning I wake up, Uncle Reggie waiting there, and he starts telling me how we being watched and shit. And he starts telling me he went outside the other night to scope shit out. And he might have seen that same van, I don't know. So Uncle Reggie, after that shit, he gets the master bedroom like all barricaded up, like the window like completely fortified and shit. And he starts insisting that we just stay in the master bedroom all fucking day and night. And this motherfucker just sit there all day, blood, with the fucking shotgun in his hand. Puts it down, does a little twirl, picks that gun up again, just sitting there, blood, like a fucking crazy nutcase. I remember one time doing this shit, he fucking passed out with that fucking shotgun in his hand. And it was like the perfect opportunity for me to get out for a hot minute, get out, walk around the block or something like that. Maybe I could go try to hit up Stench, try to re-up off him or something, get some fucking supplies from his ass. But I was terrified, blood, if I made a step and got in that hallway, what if I hit that hallway, blood, and I fucking made some creaks on the floor or something? Made Uncle Reggie fucking jump, he just pulls that trigger and just blasts my ass away or something, blood. So I didn't go nowhere. And all this time is going on. We started running out of like all the essentials, blood. We didn't have fucking toilet paper anymore. And this motherfucker just being irrational as fucking shit. And I'm starting to get kind of like arguing with him a lot. And I explained to him how fucking easy it would be for me just to use the escape hatch, go to Stench's, get what the fuck we need, and we'd be alright. And at first he's like, no. But eventually he gives in, and he starts letting me leave the house like real late at night as long as I escape through there and go through the backyard and shit and just go directly to Stench's, and that's it. And that's what I did, and it helped us out a lot. But I'm over there with Stench, and we talking about this motherfucker that's stalking us and shit, and what we gonna do about it. And it's weird though, blood, cause he don't pull up on our street, so I'm wondering how the fuck he can even see what we doing and shit. But he there though, he fucking there. And I don't know, man, maybe Stench watching too many of them Home Alone movies or some shit, but Stench been coming up with some fucking plans what he wants to do. And this shit's fucking brilliant. So what Stench starts doing, but he gets pretty far from that cat, like around the corner where dude ain't gonna see him, and gets out his airsoft gun, starts taking pop shots at his car, at his windows and shit. And I guess like, you know, dude in the fucking van, it's loud as fuck, these things hitting it, but I guess maybe it's the distance he's away or whatever, but he can't break the window from there though, blood. So what Stench does is just fucking hilarious, blood. And I think he realized the danger he was in doing this too, but he just a true motherfucking friend that's always down for me no matter what. So the next day when Stench gets home, he's going by my spot. He sees that fucking van's back, blood. So he goes and gets some player. Stench gets one of them big ass river rocks from his fucking front yard, hops on his BMX, blood, rolls right by that fool's fucking van, and when he gets just to the window, he launches that motherfucker right at him. And what Stench tells me too, it was fucking violent, blood. Like it was an explosion when that fucking window broke, blood. And that dude didn't know what the fuck to do. He started like, he was just completely fucking startled and shit. So Stench bounced out, he go back to his house and shit, and dude took the fuck off, and he never came back after that. But this shit still went on for fucking weeks more and shit. And man, I don't know how to explain. This was worse than fucking jail in a lot of ways, man. It really fucking was. I think eventually, actually, nah, Uncle Reggie still had a lot of twirl. It was something else, man. Maybe just the isolation was getting to him. He started using that phone and making calls and shit. But eventually, like, Uncle Reggie, I don't know, he starts getting more information and whatever was going on, it's been resolved, whatever the fuck, and it goes from fucking night to daylight instantly. Yeah, but I remember Uncle Reggie gets off that fucking phone with somebody he's talking to. He puts his fucking handgun in the back of his fucking shirt. He leaves the house, don't say nothing to me. And I'm kind of fucking baffled because we've been in this motherfucking place for God knows how fucking long. All of a sudden, he just opens the door and walks the fuck out. And like 30 minutes later, he comes back with his fucking ride. He don't really say fucking shit to me. He just grabs some whatever few essentials he's got. He throws them in his fucking ride and he leaves, blood. He just goes back to the suburbs. He never really explained nothing to me. It was just, I don't know what the fuck it was, blood. It was just an event in my life that was complete fucking misery that I don't even know if it had any purpose. I mean, maybe these motherfuckers was never even after him. I don't even know. Maybe that cat in the van was just some innocent bystander. But I don't fucking think so. Why the fuck was this guy out in our neighborhood every fucking day? He didn't belong there, blood. But at the end of the day, it's just one of them fucking things I'm never gonna have any answers to. But them cats he was doing all that criminal shit with them two brothers, they both went down later on. Yeah, both them brothers, they in San Quentin the rest of their fucking lives, but somehow Uncle Reggie always 2 steps ahead of everybody else though. It's crazy. But anyway, thank you for listening. I don't know if this story is that fucking interesting, but it was a miserable fucking experience in my life, and I'm glad you listened to it. I'm glad I was able to share it with you.